Okay, so what's going on, guys? It's your boy NotSlaw, or Keegan here. Hope y'all having a fantastic day so far. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys another story, and today's video is a lot more, it's not really serious, it's a lot more kind of like suspenseful, I could say. But it involves one of my exes, and I've had a lot of them, but this one is definitely tops the rest of my ex list, and that's really all I can say is, but if you guys enjoy, actually, let me take this out. I don't really plug my social media into my videos that much, but definitely go check out my Instagram at keegan.slaw, keegan.slaw actually, because I'm actually really fucking active on that, and I post some pretty cool shit. So definitely go check that bitch out. Okay, so sorry for that. I had to do a quick plug-in. Now that plug is over, let's get into the video. So in 8th grade, I dated this girl, and we're just gonna call her Chloe for this video. I don't know why Chloe, but it's just like probably the most fucking white female name I could think of. But yeah, so I dated this girl named Chloe, and at first, I think we ended up dating for like almost 7 months, which is really crazy for me because I didn't really want to be in that relationship at all. But I just did one of those like fuck it, like you win some, you lose most, kind of that kind of mentality. But we ended up dating for about 7 months, and I started getting these like red flags almost that she was pretty much a fucking psychopath. At first I didn't really think that much of it. Maybe, at first I was like, maybe, there's reasons behind this shit. Maybe there's always reasons for everything, for every decision ever made. There's always gonna be a reason, but for this specific time, I don't think there really was. But yeah, so Chloe, she was a really nice girl. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. She was actually really nice, and she cared a lot about others, and especially about me and shit like that. But it was her thinking and her rationality that made her set her apart from every other ex I've ever fucking had in my life. And yeah, so I'm this one specific day, she kind of was talking like she wasn't like I shouldn't say talking shit almost, but it was almost like she was being like a lot more bitchier than normal. And I don't know if it's that time of month. I know that's like I can't really get into detail about that because I'm a fucking dude, but like but I had no idea. I didn't really want to get involved in it either. I knew like shit was going down, and I didn't really want to be a part of it. So I even said, I was like, you know what, I've kind of had enough out of this. I care about you, but I don't think we should continue seeing each other the way we do. I'm down to be friends and shit, but I just don't think it's that good of an idea to keep dating. And so I ended up ending things with her, and she was like, "No, you can't do this. If you break up with me, I'm gonna fucking kill myself." She was saying a bunch of shit like that. And I don't know about anybody else, but like when it comes to me, I'm really soft-hearted, especially when it comes to depression and stuff like that. Because I still struggle with it, with the depression and anxiety and stuff like that. So I definitely know what it's like. But at the time, I didn't really think, like, oh, she can't be serious. So I said, I'm sorry, you do you, but I think it's best if we just break up. And she did one of those like, fuck you. And I was like, okay, fuck you too. If you're gonna be a bitch about it, I was trying to end things politely and nicely and shit, but she was just being a bitch about it. And so I ended up ending things, and it was over, it was done with. I didn't really care enough, and yeah, so I ended it. And I ended up hanging out with one of my friends later in the day. If you guys do remember, I don't think I ever mentioned his name, but my buddy Karsten, I ended up hanging out with him. And no, it wasn't Carson actually. It was Matthew. It was my friend Matthew. And yeah, I don't know if you. I don't think you've ever been. He might have been in one of my streams once, but anyway, not the point. So I was hanging out with Matthew. We were just chilling around, and then we went back to his. Or actually, we went to his house, and then we kind of chilled and went back to my grandma's house. And we were home alone pretty much most of the day. But I really started realizing that she was really fucking crazy because she kept texting me and texting me and texting me, nonstop. Like, babe, pick up the phone. She was calling me, and I was declining the call. She was like, babe, pick up the phone, please. Like, pick up the phone. We need to talk. Let's talk this out. And I was like, no, we're not talking this out. I already told you, it's over. So I blocked her number, and I never really talked to her again after that. If I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, like, I really didn't talk to her. But she ended up getting her friend who, because a lot of my friends are older, so are hers, and like they all know each other. So, but she ended up getting one of her friends to drive her around, and she ended up pretty much following us all day. So we went to a skate park, and she was there. Like, I noticed this car, I didn't really think much of it. I just thought it was like a fucking random car, but like there were people sitting in there. I didn't really think of it. I didn't look at their faces. If I saw their faces, I would have known it was them. But like I didn't. I wasn't really thinking that. I wasn't that logical at the time to be like, yeah, she's definitely following me. I was more like, there's no way that she's actually following me. Because she said she took a picture of me at one point. I figured, we were just coincidental because I was at the mall earlier and she was there. I figured it was just fucking coincidental that we were both there at the same time. But nope, she was following me, and so we ended up going back to Matt's house, and she followed us there, and she knocked on the door, and she was like, "Hey, babe." I was like, "Stop calling me that. I literally just broke up with you, like, not even, 5 hours ago. Stop calling me babe. Like, we're done." And she was like, "But babe, like, we can work this out." And I was like, "No, I even told you, like, you're a nice person, but I don't think we can continue, like, seeing each other." And she was like, "But babe, we can fix this." And I was like, "No, don't stop calling me babe and stop, like, following me." And so it was just a big ordeal with that. And I I don't think I mentioned this, but she did leave a sweatshirt at my grandma's house because she was there once, and then me and Matt, we were pretty much home alone all day with both houses. It was in the summer, so we parents are at work, grandparents are at work, and shit like that. And so my grandma has this ADT app on her phone because she's like the security shit. And we were out of the house, and we were at the skate park, and then we fucking went. I think we got pizza at this like restaurant, this little restaurant by my grandma's house. But anyway, so she texts me and she goes, "Did you just go into the house?" And I said no. Actually, at the time I said, and I said why, and she goes, "Because I just got a notification that it went off." And I told her yeah, because I didn't really want her to worry and call the cops, because but it's to me, it just wasn't really that big of a deal, because I figured probably probably the UPS dude rang the doorbell or some shit like that. Like, that was just my thought process at the time. I didn't really think that it could have been her. And it turns out me and Matt, we ended up going home, or ended up going back to my grandma's house to see what the fuck was going on. And my door was wide open. Like, my garage door was completely like fucking wide open. Like, and I never gave anybody the code, but it's one of those, like, if you know how to, you can manually lift it up. And so she knew how to do it, and she manually lifted it up. And I walked inside, and nothing was really stolen, except, this is how I knew it was her at first too. Nothing was stolen except for my old iPod, which was completely smashed, and nothing else was stolen except for that. And then the sweatshirt that she left in my house was at her house, because she was nagging me all day, after we finally told her, like, we're fucking done, like, it's over. She was like, "Fine, if you're breaking up with me, then at least give me my sweatshirt back." And I was like, I'm not gonna do that, especially because, like, you're psycho. I didn't really say it like that, but I was like, eventually I'll get it to you. I'm hanging out with my friend right now. And she took matters into her own hands and fucking went to my house, or my grandma's house, and fucking she broke into my grandma's house. My poor old grandma. She's not even that old, but she broke into my grandma's house and literally stole her sweatshirt back. Which, it's really fucking annoying that she had the audacity to fucking steal her sweatshirt back. And I never mentioned this before, but I have a really close friend whose dad's a cop. And I called him up and I was like, "Yo, I think, blah blah, I think Chloe stole something, like, broke into my house and stole from me." And I was like, "Can you and your dad, like, maybe help me out here, and like, go up to her, pull up to her house and stuff, and just, like, kind of scare her with me?" And his dad, he goes, "Yeah, sure, I'll talk to my dad really quick." And his dad goes, "Yeah, it's perfectly fine, I'm down to do that." And I was like, "Okay, sweet." So they pull up to my house, and then I get in the car. Even to top it all off, he was in uniform and fucking squad car. And so we pulled up there, and we pulled up to her house. And I knock on the door, and her dad's there. And I was like, "Yo, is Chloe home?" And he goes, "Yeah, let me get her really quick." And he yells, "Chloe, come downstairs, Keegan's here." And she comes down, she goes, "What's up?" And the best part of the whole thing is she's fucking wearing her sweatshirt, the sweatshirt that she owned, but she was wearing it, so that kind of made her literally guilty. And so her dad comes up, or my friend's dad comes up, and is like, "I see you're wearing the sweatshirt that you stole out of Keegan's house." And she was like, "No, I've had this." And I showed the cop all the texts, and my friend said all the texts and shit. And he was like, "You're lucky, Keegan's not pressing charges or anything, because this could be, he could be going to jail, especially because you broke his iPod." And her dad chimes in, he goes, "Chloe, you what?" And yeah, so her dad had no idea that any of this happened. And now, kind of, I mean, I wish I told him, but he ended up giving me money for the iPod, and I wasn't really too upset about any of it at the end of the story. But she was just one of the craziest fucking girls I have ever dated in my entire life. And to top it all off, the next day I hung out with Matt and a couple other of my friends, and she was fucking following me the day after too. And, like, she pulled up everywhere. And I thought the cop thing would be enough, but no, dude. My one friend had a little party, and we all went, and it wasn't really a party, it was just kind of like a bonfire, and we all went, and she fucking pulls up, and she has no idea who this dude is, but her friend did. And her friend said, "Yeah, Keegan's gonna be there." And so they pull up, and she comes up to me, takes a Coke, and pours it on my head. And all my friends were like, dude, you just got bitched by your girlfriend. I was like, shut the fuck up. I dumped her. And they were all like, oh, sorry, dude. I was like, don't worry about it. She's fucking psycho. So she leaves, and I haven't really heard from her or talked to her since that happened. And I'm starting to wonder if she's even like alive anymore. Like, I'm not saying like, but like, she pretty much went like fucking AWOL after that. Like, I haven't heard from her. I haven't seen anything of her. No Instagram posts, nothing like that. So I mean, I hope she's doing okay. You know, I'm like, you know, the fact that she did kind of like, you know, steal from me, but I mean, she kind of stole her thing back, but the point's still valid. Like, the fact that all that happened, you know, I hope she's, like, okay, but at the same time, like, you know, I hope she's, you know, psycho to another guy, so, you know, I'm not too concerned about anything like that, but, yeah, that's pretty much my story. uh, I'm just gonna, you know, as I said, I normally don't plug my sponsors and stuff in here, but I need to start doing that, because I know a lot of you guys will. I get a lot, you know, a lot of you guys actually buy shit off my sponsors and stuff, which helps me out a lot. So if you ever need anything from Razer, mouse, keyboard, fucking, you know, what the fuck just fell? Oh, never, nothing important. So if you guys ever need like anything important, like mice, keyboard, fucking mouse pads, headsets, monitors, computers, anything, hit up keegan.slaw, 10% or 20% off at Razer.com. And that's, yeah, and then shares for gaming, 10% off, Rogue Energy, 10% off. But that's pretty much it. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Always remember to stay slothy. Other than that, it's been Slaw. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace out, everybody.